They all laughed at me, called me a madman. But who's laughing now, eh? After skipping Brant for Cantarella.
Tides.
Oh my god.
From the abyss.
And they know what they do. Oh my days, bro. Holy shit.
Sleep.
Yeah, she's cute. That's exactly what I'm looking at. Anyway, guys, the stream for 2.2 was a little earlier on, should I say. I would have got this video up a little bit earlier, but I was kind of sucked off into playing Art Nights all afternoon, doing the new Delicious on Terra event, which has been really fun, actually. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into what we're supposed to be talking about today, and that's Wuthering Waves and the 2.2 special broadcast. And kind of my thoughts. You know, was it a good live stream? What about 2.2? Has it alleviated some of the issues that I've been talking about recently? If you haven't checked out my previous video, there'll be a link in the description for that, actually. Check it out. Just kind of how I've been feeling at the moment with Wuthering Waves. And I'll just let you know, it's a little bit of a, I don't want to say negative video, but it's me being a little bit negative about the game, really. But anyway, let's put that aside. But I do want to, like, talk about that as well. And yeah, let's just talk about what was in the update, actually. So, as a stream goes, I think it was okay. It wasn't as good as some of the others, especially not the last one. It was a decent stream. The production quality, all that sort of stuff's okay usually, isn't it? Some good trailers again that, you know, at least for the story, I think is looking really good. We're getting more story, which is great because I think 2.0 was really good for me. It left me wanting more, and I'm excited to continue on the story, learn more about Fleur de Lis, Cartothea, the Blessed Maiden, the Imperator, all of the stuff. That looks really cool, I must say. And, you know, the cinematics, the environments, they all look really, really good. The Tangled Truth in Inverted Tower is what it's called. And, you know, it looks great. So, obviously, we get a new main quest, the Maiden, the Defier, and the Death Crier, which I think is a really cool name as well. We get a new companion story for, if I do say so myself, probably, potentially, maybe my new favourite character in the game, at least from a looks. Jinsei, if you know me, is my favourite character in the game. Man, she looks good. Bro, come on. Oh my god. They know exactly what they're doing right now. The Goonabait's there, man. Jesus. And it's not because of two massive reasons, although that is two massive reasons for why I do like her. But she just looks gorgeous, man. Her whole design, the colour palette, the lavender hair, a dress, everything about her. And oh my god, a tacit mark on her tongue. Come on. Look, hey, I don't care what everybody said. I can't believe you're scooping Brant for Cantarella. Like, bro, hey, I think I got the last laugh there, personally. Anyway, she does look like she's going to be quite an interesting character as well. Potentially hitting like a sort of support sub-DPS role. She looks like she's probably kind of going to be the best in slot for a future Havoc character. But looking at the way her kit works, she looks like she could potentially kind of work kind of well with Jinsei as well at the minute, and probably with Havoc Rover as well. Since she's got the coordinated attack, that'll be quite good for Jinsei. I think, what is it? She goes into a Mirage state. When she builds up a Forte, you go into a heavy attack, which gives her like a domain expansion, I believe, and then she does kind of different attack animations. I don't know if that comes with a buff for her attacks. And then I think does she get a shield and heals or something like that? So she seems like an interesting character, and I do think she will be really useful for a potential upcoming Havoc character. It feels like she's designed for an upcoming character anyway, although I do think she'll work quite well with Havoc Rover, and probably quite well with Jinsei. If you don't have Gigi, at least anyway, I think it'll be a good alternative if you don't want to use the Discord moderator, because most people don't want to use Yuanwu, do they? Okay.
在战斗中，坎特雷拉会将手中的伞甩出，配合剧毒的水母对
Venomous jellyfish. What does she do? Dot damage then or something?
特殊能量迷离，获取能量后，在地面进行重击，便能
Okay, heavy attack on the ground sends her into the mirage state.
进入水底一般
Okay, oh, okay.
此时，坎特雷拉的攻击会
Okay, so in mirage, attacks become fluid and agile as a deep sea fish.
对敌人发起攻击时，能够
Okay, so when you spend
所有角色进行恢复。
Okay, so a Forte heals, spending it.
技能还能让敌人的行动速度大幅减缓。虽然当敌人
Okay, slow and heals.
缓速效果就会消失，但当面对一群敌人时
Okay, bit of CC.
这个能力能让漂泊者专心面对其中一位敌人，不受周围其他敌人的干扰。
Definitely getting a lot of CC stuff coming into the game, aren't we? Coordinated attacks. Have a damage bonus as well on our edge roll. Okay. Sounds like pretty decent to me. Respectfully looking, right? Oh no! Oh no, chat. Oh no. The Genshin fans are going to have a field day with that. And speaking of Rover as well. Okay, we get an Aero. That was cringe. We're getting a new Rover attribute, and that's Aero, which is kind of cool. I think most people were kind of expecting that when we saw in the trailer, the secret trailer, I think it was, when the Rover seemed to do what looked like an Aero slash, which ties into the fact as well, we're getting a new weapon and a 5-star weapon as well for free for just completing the story, which is kind of cool, actually, called the Blood Pack's Pledge. And it's actually a cool looking weapon also. So that's really dope. Rover as well. Looks like Rover does some sort of healing also, I believe, which is interesting, and is bringing in Aero Erosion that they can enact. And they did mention that if you've got Spectral Frazzle inflicted on an enemy and you inflict Aero Erosion, it switches to Aero Erosion. So I don't know if that's the start of potentially some kind of catalyst between some of these negative status effects, maybe. Or it's just straight up showing you that, like, the way they mentioned it was kind of a throwaway comment. I don't know if it's more just to say that, oh, by the way, if you've got a negative status effect on a character, it will just be taken over by the other negative status effect. They didn't really go into it too much. So it's one of the two. Potentially, it could be something that maybe switches the meta massively in the future, or it will just literally mean you're going from one negative status effect to the others, and they don't really stack, and they might not really necessarily intertwine. But if they do, that could be some incredible changes to the meta. And obviously we're getting a new area to explore in the Avenolium, I believe it's called, and the Boa Waters as well. So that's cool. It's always cool to get new areas. I think I was speaking about this in the stream, actually. Is this the fabled Project Nami? In the sense that I do believe Project Nami is going to be that PvP game that Kuro are potentially going to start working on. But remember when there was this talk that, oh, Kuro are working on this game and it's called Project Nami and it's a little bit like Gravity Rush. And then we saw that Project Utopia come out and everybody was like, oh, actually, I think that might be. Maybe it was just this, because that part of the game kind of did look like Gravity Rush, really, like where you're flipping the perspectives and you're going to be walking on the ceilings and the walls and all that sort of stuff. Kind of cool. Nice to have some environmental mechanics, personally. I do like that stuff. We're getting new echoes as well. New Nightmare Echo for the Lampy Lumen. Some cool looking echoes, actually. I really do like the little drakes. They're super cute. I like the fact that they've kind of taken over for the little tortoises as well now. Oh, we got new dancers. Okay. Okay, I like this. I like that. I like that. These are better than the tortoises. They're better than the tortoises. And they're better, if you ask me. They clear the tortoises. And we're also getting this new echo as well. This reminiscence of Fleur de Lis. And it was kind of weird the way they explained it. I don't know if that's going to be an echo that goes into your slot like normal, or it's potentially going to be an extra echo, maybe just for the rover. I'm not too sure. I don't know if that comes with, like, you know, when you beat Carter Thea or whatever, then it says you complete the main quest, you get the sword, and I think you get this echo as well through that, maybe. So I don't know if that's going to be maybe some extra additional kind of passive echo just for rover, or it's just an account-wide thing. I'm not too sure, if I'm honest. They didn't quite explain, or it could just be a new echo, but it is listed as new echo, so it might just be a new slot. But it's kind of weird just having a sword, but it comes down. I can't remember exactly what it does, to be fair, when it does. Get a new Phantom Echo as well, and we're getting a new Sonata effect as well. So a new Sonata set is always great, but it's an Aero set, the Gust of Welcome, so you're going to be constantly getting main stats of Fusion and Spectral, so that's always great, isn't it? But the 2P set comes with a 10% Aero damage, and then the 5P set, inflicting Aero Erosion on enemies increases Aero damage for all resonators in the team by 15%, and for the resonator triggering this effect by an additional 15% as well. So the one who has the set and starts it, they get 30% basically, and that lasts for 20 seconds. So as well, looking at Aero Rover, going back to Aero Rover specifically, Looks like Aero Rover might actually be really useful to go in with Gian. Be interesting to see if that can switch up the Gian meta, if you will, because it feels like Gian's fell off a little bit recently, doesn't it? Even though dude's still a S tier character in the game. That might step Gian up once again, bringing in the Aero Rover as well. We get a new hologram also with the Dragon and Dirge hologram, which is always cool. Bunch of optimizations as well, that are kind of minor optimizations, apart from probably the quick access to supplies in the backpack. I think that's a really good one. And the story review as well is really good, because I think with gacha games sometimes, because of the prolonged gaps in between updates to the story, sometimes you kind of forget where you're at, don't you? Especially if you're playing multiple gacha games and different games as well. So that's always good to be able to go and kind of get a recap, especially for somebody like me who's a content creator. It's nice to just get some B-roll or stuff like that as well. So that's great. Titles, don't care about that. The exploration stuff's okay, I guess, but nothing really major there. And then obviously we've got the new Resonators, Cantarella, Aero Rover. We're getting a rerun of Cammy as well, and the rerun of Shorekeeper in Phase 2. So Cammy's going to be along with Cantarella, which is interesting again, you know, because, you know, we're definitely getting a little bit more FOMO on the banners there, because Cammy's a really good character as well. And I think there's probably a lot of people who will automatically assume that those characters will probably work well together, which maybe they might, but definitely I think Cantarella is definitely going to be more for an upcoming Resonator. And again, as I say, potentially as a second best, you know, alternative for Jeji, for Jinsei as well. And then obviously, if you really want to give your account a buff, Shorekeeper. But looking at the way that the Aero Rover's built, and Cantarella as well, with this kind of like, this seeping in of other characters starting to be able to do their own healing and stuff like that, are we trying to shift away from the meta of your characters like Verena and Shorekeeper, where you don't have characters that are like super strong sustains, and maybe some characters are going to be a bit of a jack of all trades? They're going to be like true support / sustain characters, and we're going to see a bit of a switch in the meta. Ones that can also dole out a decent bit of damage, but do a bit of everything, but not so well, maybe. I don't know. I'll be interested to see where we go with that. And I don't know what I'll think about that, actually, if I'm honest. Okay, like I said about the Blood Packs pledge as well, obviously we're getting the weapon for Cantarella as well, which I think it looks kind of cool, actually. It's like a jellyfish. It's called Whispers of Sirens. That looks kind of cool. And then obviously weapons for Shorekeeper and for Camellia as well. So that's like kind of the content in terms of, you know, characters, echoes, areas, all that sort of stuff. Let's move on to the actual, I guess, the meat and veg outside the story, right, which is the events. Because I've been speaking recently in my previous video, I've been a little bit disappointed with the variety in Wuthering Waves events, right? The end game, I think, is kind of trash at the moment. Whimpering Waves sucks. Terror versus is kind of mid. We've not seen the depths of Elusive Realm for a while, which is the best part of the end game. And for me, personally, I think the events have just kind of been pretty samey. Not really doing it for me, if I'm honest. And not going to lie, this event's not really alleviating that. But let me just add the caveat of I'm not too mad about that, okay? And the reason being, one, this is going to be a shorter update. Two, the next update is going to roll into the 1 year anniversary as well. So I'm expecting a lot of things there. So I don't mind this being a little bit of a sort of semi-filler, light on content patch. And I don't mean light, because there's still like plenty of stuff here, but I don't mind it being a bit lighter, a bit shorter, because I'm expecting 2.3 to be an absolute banger. So hopefully Kuro have cooked something special for that, because at the end of the stream as well, you did see that they showed off the birthday cake with the 1 on it. So they're obviously planning stuff, well, we would assume, for the 1 year anniversary. But anyway, let's talk about the events, shall we? We've got the Windsor Pass area exploration event, which is always good when you've got a new area. Then we've got the Avalonium Travel Atlas as well, another one. Then we've got the Photo Collection event. Don't really care about that, if I'm honest. The gifts are still tied. Login event, so it doesn't really count as an event, if you ask me, but still good to see. And then we have the featured co-op event. Cool, great to see that. Lolo campaign, don't really care. The Raguna weather forecast looks okay, you know. I'm not massively into those kind of like hardcore ones, but they can be fun. I just think they should be dotted around the map on a regular basis and reset and have new ones all the time. That should be just consistently added to the game, in my opinion. And then we've got the Wuthering Exploration, which is, you know, the typical exploration stuff, which, yeah, it is what it is. But the one that I am hopeful for, that I'm looking towards, is the Virtual Crisis prototype trials, which looks like it maybe could be like a Bible thing from PGR maybe, where I don't know exactly how it's going to play out because we didn't get to actually see gameplay, but it looks like you're going to go into instances and there's different ones. Now, I don't know if you're going to be running through a pseudo dungeon or it's just going to be combat in one spot. It looks like potentially you might be moving through different areas and you can set yourself buffs or nerfs, so you can make it a little bit easier for yourself and go through it, or you can make it a little bit harder. Love to see that. I like the idea of having customizable content for the people who really want to challenge themselves, and then for people who just kind of want to clear it, they can do that. Or I don't know if you can do a bit of in between as well. That'd be kind of interesting, you know. So you can just switch it up. So it's just different, basically. I like the idea of things like that because it can kind of customize your playthroughs and kind of make it a little bit more replayable. Which I'd like to see. I'd like to see what they're doing with that as well, added to holograms. Allow us to have resettable holograms. Take the asteroids out of it so people don't get mad that, oh, I've got to clear holograms for asteroids. Just make it materials and stuff like that. And allow us to do that sort of stuff with the holograms. So it adds a little bit of an extra modifiers to holograms, allows customization. I think that's something I've been asking for a while. I think that'd be really fun because I've said it multiple times, holograms show off the best of Wuthering Waves. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that actually. I'm hoping that's going to be good and hopefully it can be something that returns as well. But other than that, you know, the patch is a little bit light. As I say, I don't mind too much though because 2.3 is coming. It's the big update. Well, hopefully it's a big update. So I'll let it slide a little bit, right? I'll let it slide a little bit. Oh, one thing I will say about Cantarella as well. It looks like maybe she's doing a little bit of exploration power creep. But to be fair, it's just swimming. So nobody gives a fuck really, do they? If I'm honest, you know, you can swim a bit quicker. Oh, wow. Cool. How often are you going to be using that? Probably not that often. Unless it's really start to force in some areas where you're doing a lot of swimming, then you might think, shit, I really needed Cantarella. Which you should be thinking that anyway, because ever since I saw her, I knew I had to pull her. And everybody was going wild for Brant. I'm like, bro, you're mental. Frick, Cantarella's coming, man. Look at her. Look at her. So yeah, as an update goes, I think if I had to rate it out of 10, right, which is kind of stupid anyway, because it's just done, but I'll give it like a 6 out of 10, right? It could probably go a little bit higher, potentially. Maybe a little bit because it's a little bit shorter. So, you know, I think that's definitely holding it. It's great that we're getting a new story. I'm really looking forward to that. And, you know, I'm looking forward to that crisis event potentially. And obviously, Cantarella coming to the game is really cool as well. But yeah, it's not going to be one of those from me where I'm seeing everybody everywhere. It's insane. It's perfect. It's perfection. It's not. It's just an all right update. It looks okay. The best thing about this extra addition to the story, which looks interesting because 2.0, in my opinion, I think was a really good story bit for the game as well. So I'm hoping to see more. I want to learn more about Cartathea, Fleur-de-Lis, the whole, you know, Grenadian Sentinel situation. I want to learn more. And of course, I want to meet Cantarella as well because she looks fucking awesome. So yeah, I think that's my opinions on the actual patch, guys, or what we've seen in the patch so far. Like I say, I would like to see a little bit more about Cantarella's kit and obviously a little bit more about Rover as well. And just kind of find out a little bit more about this potential interaction that's going on with negative status effects, if there is going to be. Or that throwaway comment was just to let you know, hey, by the way, one negative status effect will basically take away the other one. They won't stack, they won't interact. Kind of that's what I thought, but then I'm like, actually, maybe it's not that. So I don't know. So we might see a massive meta switch soon, even though I think we're starting to lean into one slightly now. Could be drastic soon. But yeah, I think it was okay. As streams go, it wasn't one of the better ones, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Story looks good. New characters, great. Oh, as well, Chibata, or whatever her name is, the chick with the red hair. She looks really nice. I really do like her design, actually. So I'm looking forward to her. Again, I had this kind of theory that was potentially the original Cartathea before she became the Blessed Maiden. And what we see now, the Fleur-de-Lis and the Cartathea, good and bad, are just kind of like representations of her as the Blessed Maiden. But that was the original like person beforehand. But it looks like I'm wrong. Her name is like, well, I forgot what it's called anyway. I'll just call her Chibata because I don't know why. I'm stupid. But yeah, the new Echoes do look good as well, actually. They do really look good. The Captaineus as well looks cool. And the Phantom Captaineus looks fucking sick. That looks like a transmog of like a high-end MMO knight's armor or something like that. It looks really cool. And yeah, of course, I really like the Drakes. The Aero Drake, the Electro Drake, and the Glacial Drake look really cute, really cool. We got to see them dancing at the end of the stream. That was nice. And yeah, as I say, I'm looking forward to it. It hasn't alleviated the worries that I had in regards to the content at the moment, but I'm hopeful 2.3 might, because I did forget when I was talking about, man, hopefully 2.2 makes me feel different. I was forgetting that, man, the 22nd of May is fast approaching, and the year of the anniversary of the game's coming up, isn't it? So I'm expecting something special for that. So yeah, short patch, a little bit light on the content, extra story, cool new character. I can't be too mad at that. I'm not too down on it, but I don't think it's like this huge patch that some people are talking about. But yeah, I'm excited. I can't wait to get into it. I've got some catching up to do. I've still got to go through 2.1 story, and still got to do Carlotta's actual companion quest as well. I've been slacking big time. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section about the patch. Was it a W? Kind of missed the mark for you? Or is it just what you was expecting? A little bit of a slow one before the big number in 2.3 and the year's anniversary of the game. I'd like to know, did Kuro cook or not so much? And guys, if you did enjoy the video as well, give it a like, and I'll see you all in the next one. Get on.
开启后，全新5星共鸣者
Bro
坎特雷拉将正式登场。
Hey,
让我们先来简单认识一下他吧。
come on. Come on. Oh my days. Just gonna have to save that for research later. Oh my days. Bro, I cannot wait for the cosplays of this one. We're gonna be eating good, boys. We're gonna be eating good.